We're here.
I wish I could give you this feeling. I wish I could give you this feeling. On the corner.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Corner Podcast. Kel Dansby here with the old man Andreas Hale. Producer Cole Bebe holding down the booth by himself today, doing everything. The guy's in there like he has 8 arms, like he's Goro from Mortal Kombat, running the entire show by himself. So shout out to him. Dre, we are talking MMA to start the show today. And man, UFC 274 happened. We got an entire announcement for UFC 276. So we know what's going down on that card. Not what was speculated last week. Still a pretty good card, though. But we'll talk to see if that is worthy of International Fight Week. And then, of course, giving our prediction for this upcoming fight this weekend, going down in Vegas, Performance Center. Or not Performance Center, but the Apex for the UFC. We'll give our predictions for the main card there as well. Tons to talk about there. But to start the show, last time we talked hip-hop. To start the show, Kendrick, everything else dropping. Now we're even closer to that album dropping. I've noticed, though, we've talked a lot of music lately. We haven't talked, and someone alerted me to this on Twitter. That's why it's fresh in my head. This is like the first year, this is the longest it's taken us to talk R&B. And you're R&B ass Dre.
That's true.
If people don't know, Dre used to curate these playlists on Spotify that every year you go to, and you just put it on while you clean it, or Sunday morning vibes. Dre is R&B first and foremost. Like, I go to his crib, like, barely do I walk in and there's, like, hip-hop playing.
Not all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other shit.
R&B, jazz.
Yep.
Shit like that. So, Saba has your rap album of the year so far. We've talked about this. Still.
Saba's still my rap album.
Yes. It is good we get to talk about that before Kendrick, because Kendrick might take it.
Might.
We talked about expectations.
Yeah.
So, Saba has number 1. Who has R&B album of the year so far? Last year, Jasmine Sullivan ran away with everything. And that album was cool. I like the Silk Sonic joint, even though I'm not a Bruno Mars fan.
It's funny. I haven't really talked about it. I don't listen to that album no more. The Silk Sonic album came and went for me.
Everything's like a million singles now. And that's the problem with Bruno Mars, is that they turn everything into a single, and then it gets played out. Like, my Sirius radio plays it all the damn time, and now I'm like, yo, I'm tired of it. And that and the stupid show they have here, like the Residency.
Yeah.
And we go to fights, and then you walk across the Park MGM, and it's Silk Sonic everywhere. It's definitely burnt out.
God damn, I don't know what my R&B album of the year thus far is. Like, I'm looking through my list of what I like this year, and it's a bunch of just random.
Didn't you just
songs.
tweet about, like, you had the most random, most played song on your playlist?
That was Diamonds by Rihanna. Because my son, he won't go to sleep. He only sleeps to Diamonds by Rihanna. Like, if you put that on, he'll be like,
No
yeah.
ambient noise, no nothing. Just
It
the
has to
sound of Rihanna.
Diamonds by Rihanna and reality television. That's the only two things he puts him to sleep.
Kids after my heart.
Like, not even like, there's some bad reality TV.
Yes. I was talking about Zeus yesterday because the chick from NXT is randomly on, like, the new For the Love of Chance reality show on Zeus. And it's horribly ratchet.
Oh my God.
But I paid $5.99 to watch it.
There is something I want to bring up.
This can't be good.
Okay, I'm going to hold it. But I'm going to bring it up. Because I want to see if anybody's seen this shit aside from me. My wife made me watch it.
Is it reality TV?
No.
Okay, I was about to say, because I've seen it. It is a reality TV.
But R&B album of the year. Jesus, I don't know.
What's crazy is in R&B, we haven't had a big name dropping out.
Weekend dropped at the top of the year.
Oh,
Weekend's probably, for a lot of people, album of the year. Not sure if it's mine, though.
you know what? It's not traditional Weekend. And I understand people evolve. They grow. Music changes. I don't want to see him grow. And it's selfish.
Yeah.
But that's like the inner Joe Budden fan in me, too. Like, I only like Joe Budden when he was in shitty relationships or just recently broken up.
Toxic Joe.
Yeah, I never wanted to hear Happy Joe.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to hear Future rap about anything positive.
God, this album is so goddamn toxic.
Yo, and I don't count that as R&B. That's rap, right?
Yeah,
but
rap.
it's like, he's melodic rap. It's
Whatever.
now a Grammy category.
It's very like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it's toxic.
But Just fair. I mean,
That's what he does. This is his brand.
yeah. And then last year, like a lot of people were talking shit. Now that everyone's team Russell Wilson with Sierra, is like Sierra glowed up. Look at pray on it. They'll bring you a man. That's the worst
relax.
shit on social media. She prayed on it. Look at the man that brought her. Future ain't doing nothing. Look at Baby Future. They call Baby Future Baby Russ.
Yeah,
He got a lot of pent up energy.
he does.
It all came out on this album.
He does.
But R&B wise, no. Like last year, I like the Giveon Kids joint.
Yeah.
I mean, that single was everywhere. His voice a little bananas, but I think it's cool. His voice reminded me of the big black dude from 112.
Oh, is that Q? That's Q, right?
Is it Q?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not Deron, Mike, or
It's not-
Slim.
no, it's
Q.
It's Q.
He looked like Q, too.
Who?
Giveon Kid.
Does he?
Yeah,
I guess so.
dark-skinned dude. But, like, back in the day, you would never been the lead singer.
No.
Shout out to 2022. They would have stuck him in the back singing baritone,
Yep. That
doing nothing.
All right, let's see. R&B album of the year. The R&B albums I've really liked this year thus far is Alex Isley's album, Moonchild's album. These are like deep cuts, but I don't listen to like traditional R&B either. I really like, because traditional. Yo, your man had a good take. They said the what do you say? The worst thing that can happen to a great R&B song is a rap verse.
Yeah, shout out to Daz.
That is
shout out to Spence from Views from the 7. It's his first good music take in a long time.
Yo, I have a huge problem with like listening to a great R&B song and then I hear a rap verse that nobody asked for that has nothing to do with the song.
Yo,
It's the worst feeling in the world.
horrible. They just stick it in there for no reason.
Yeah, it's like yeah. it
His
doesn't make
example is like Jay-Z on like some random ass R&B song. I forgot what song it was. I was like, yo, that's true. And I love Jay.
sense.
But I don't need to hear him on this song.
Yeah, there's certain things. So that's true. So that's
Kanye
why
was on Katy Perry.
but that's my thing. A lot of traditional like straight up and down, no special effects R&B has rap stuff in it, and I don't want that. There's certain songs that it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I think Moonchild's got a song with Rhapsody that I really like. Alex Isley, she has nobody rapping on that album. Kehlani's new album is actually pretty good.
I've been seeing stuff from that.
Yeah, I like Kehlani's album. I wasn't sure what to
My
expect.
daughter's a Kalani fan.
I enjoyed that. That's about it. Like everything I listen to is like a lot of Lucy's and
It was good until it wasn't. It was a really good album by Kalani.
yeah. No, that actually was good. But Kehlani's new album is actually pretty good. But I haven't sat down with it long enough.
Yeah, I heard the Justin Bieber joint on Sirius. That was dope. Any Given Sunday featuring Blast. Listen, that's a good track list for Kalani.
No, it's a good. The joint with Sid is my joint. But
It feels like, again, this is going to be TDE week for us, but like the R&B world is just sitting and waiting for SZA.
it is pretty much for the most part. Like everybody's just kind of waiting for this SZA album to drop, which I don't know if it can live up to the hype. I guess we shall see. I'm trying to think, what else have I been listening to? Yeah, it's tough.
Her
R&B
was last year still.
R&B still in the spot where I'm like, I'm not sure if we have like we don't have a true front runner. I think a lot of people will say The Weeknd's Dawn FM though, and Dawn FM is actually a really good album. It is a full circle moment for The Weeknd for me because at a certain point I didn't like the music. I liked Drug Addict The Weeknd.
Yes, everyone did.
You know, Loft Music and all those joints. When nobody knew what he looked like.
Loft Music is my shit.
Yeah. Then it's like the last few joints, like Star Child was okay. I like Dawn FM. I like the theme. I like the concept. I like this. It feels like radio. Like you can kind of burn through it. For a lot of people, that probably be front runner, but I don't know.
Ella May is about to drop an album. It looks like
Oh, she did drop an album. That's good too.
she got a single with Roddy Ricch.
No, the LMA album's good. I wasn't
Oh.
sure what to expect from that. That's a good album. But again, I haven't sat with anything long enough that I can like clearly. For me, Saba is my album of the year right now. For me, it's no question.
Okay.
R&B, I don't have that pick yet.
Oh yeah, Ella May, Heart on My Sleeve.
Yeah, no, it's a good album.
Oh, I heard the Roddy Ricch song. Again, I don't need Roddy Ricch.
I don't need rappers all the time showing up and ruining shit for me.
She got a song with Lotto.
Yep. Some of them, you could tell that there's a label and an A&R was like, oh, I got to connect to such and such. Do you want this rapper on there? And the R&B artist really doesn't have a choice. They just get the verse back and they're supposed to be excited. Listen to this. And they play the verse. Like, I didn't want that on this song, but that's what I ended up with.
Is R&B, again, I feel like there's nostalgia to 80s R&B, 90s R&B especially. There's no more R&B groups, which really fucks up the game.
No.
That hurts
Yeah.
because that was always big. Like, how do you have R&B without groups?
I don't know.
Everybody want to be a front man now. Last great R&B group, you know what it was?
No.
Pretty Ricky.
Absolutely not.
It was the last great R&B group. Shout out to my boy Pleasure P. Nothing's come after them. There's no groups in R&B. R&B's whacked out because of that.
Jesus.
But then, even then, everyone else raps kind of.
That's what I'm saying. It's like R&B has become so closely associated with rap that it's like it's almost like unidentifiable.
Yeah, and even now when people sing, it's like, is it
singing?
dope though?
It's like you're not even singing. That's why I like the joints like Alex Isley's like a pure R&B album.
Yeah.
I love the Robert Glasper album. I almost forgot about Black Radio, which is really good. Put Layla Hathaway on anything, I'm gonna listen to it. But I like R&B. Like I like
But
soul
we got
music.
Summer Walker, Ella Mai,
Those are all right.
Kalani's, I guess, more
Nothing-
R&B.
Sid just
Give
put out a
Young
new album.
Kids,
Nothing's blown me away this year. Not yet.
Sir.
Nothing's blown me away.
There's people who sing, but I just don't know how dope it is in comparison. Like the rap R&B shit really just wrecked the game.
It is.
It's like Chris Brown, Trey Songz, who may or may not be acknowledgeable at this point.
No, he's on the cusp of like bye.
Yeah, he's getting
doing
close.
R. Kelly.
Yeah. But like that whole wave of music, like that I guess my generation had, and we were acting a fool to. The kids nowadays don't got that shit. Like everybody's sad.
Yeah.
Like ain't nobody trying to party. Like back in my day, we used to party to R&B.
Yeah.
You go out there, get a little grind on. Like R&B was dope at a party.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I ain't playing Giving On at no party.
ain't nobody dancing no more.
People don't dance.
I don't think so. I talked to my nephew. Well, my
Oh,
nephew
yeah.
don't do shit. He don't do shit anyway. But it's just a lot of standing around in places. Like in my day and age, like we used to have a house party. We fools would dance. Like
EDM kids dance.
if that's what you call dancing.
They don't dance on each other, but they dance.
Yeah. See, it was a lot of grinding in my day.
Yeah.
Well,
We were
very-
nasty
very,
folk.
Yeah. It was a lot of dry humping. There was a lot of static.
Yeah, my wife laughs at this all the time. Have you ever heard someone say hunchin'?
Hunchin'.
Hunchin'. It's like I guess it's the girl version of humping. My kid's grandma, their mom's mom would always say that. Like she'll leave the house. Don't y'all be hunching in here. So it's like a girl. Like I was
sounds
like,
wrong.
yo, it's all bad, but that shit's hilarious. Maybe that's some like real deep, like weird Southern shit. But yeah, hunching. But yeah, there was a lot of recklessness. No furniture humping. But
We're not doing that.
no, but there were like at parties, the soca parties, like Jamaican music, fire. None of that no more. Kids
Yo, I
don't
remember
dance.
when I used to go to the club and they played Murder She Wrote.
Fam,
Lord have mercy.
don't get me in my Jamaican bag. What?
Oh my.
Oh,
Like there's two things. I'm old and wise, so probably didn't experience. A lot of people didn't experience this. When I went to Morehouse, you would get exposed to everything. So it was like, of course, it was like the South. You gotta think. When I went to Morehouse, it was like 3-6 Mafia. So when they played Tear the Club Up, at the end of the night, they tore the club up. This is no joke.
yeah.
There was one night we had went out. There was Club 112 got burned down, and we had just left the club when that got burned down. Club 112 burned down, and I can't remember why. But we were like, hey, let's see what the local scene is like. Not because we used to go to a spot called the Warehouse. Ramon's in our group chat. He'll always
I gotta ask Ramon about that.
Ramon knows the Warehouse because the Warehouse was a club that we went to. We were broke as hell. They would always have a rapper there. It'd be Noriega, Method Man. And I don't know how we got in because we were broke, like dumb broke. But we were out every weekend at this club. But it was college kids, right? One night, we were like, where are we going to go? We were like, let's go see the local scene. It's a bad idea. We went to it was a ratchet spot. But we were like, we're just going to go. We went in. It was late. I think my boy Mook was with us, as a matter of fact. We walk in, and this girl just jumps in front of him like, what? And we're like, all right, this is where we're at. This
Real
is the
aggressive.
scene. So as the night gets closer to ending, the DJ starts teasing Tear the Club Up. You start seeing furniture move. And I was like, is this about to happen? It's time to go. And we were leaving. They tore that motherfucker up. That was the end of that. I don't know if that club ever came back,
Y'all might have been there for the last night.
But they tore the club up. So in Atlanta, so you have the South, 3-6 Mafia era, tear the club up. Ludacris was just getting on. He was still on the radio. Like we saw, I think at one point during my freshman year, Ludacris was slanging Chris Lubba Lubba CDs on the corner. Like just
Hand
out
to
there,
hand.
just out there in the street, because that's what everybody did back in the day. So, but you had Goody Mob, you had Outkast, like all that stuff was popping. But then you have like the East Coast clubs. One of my boys tried to holler at Foxy Brown. It was a weird night. Might have been Ramon. I can't remember. We were always drunk too. It was weird. And then you have the West Coast clubs. We had a boy that looked like Suge. We called him Suge, and he acted like Suge Knight. And he was just kind of like the Don of the West Coast stuff.
Cosplaying Suge Knight.
Yeah, for his whole
down in
life.
Morehouse.
But then there were nights that you would end up in a club that either played reggae or go-go music. And it was my first experience with that coming out of Vegas. They played go-go, and I was like, what happened? You know, I was like, one of my boys, he just say, he's like, they're always banging pots and pans. That's what he thought go-go music was. He was like, they're always going in the kitchen and banging pots and pans. And my boy from D.C. was like, no, they're not. Come to this go-go club. We went to a go-go club, and they played the Water Day, and I was like, oh my, Percolator? Well, Midwest was Percolator. Midwest house music, I went to play Chicago house. That turned me out. I love Chicago house music. The Chicago house scene is incredible.
I've heard good things.
It's not, like, there's some people like the Big Stepper scene. Not a big fan of that. Chicago house, I'm all in.
That's the old heads.
Yeah, it is. But there's cats today that like, I love stepping. You know, then you know, He Who Shall Not Be Named came out with Stepping in Love. But I was big on Chicago house. But I went to a go-go club and I lost my mind. You sweat at the go-go club.
Oh,
that's when you know you're partying. Yeah. Same with the reggae club.
Oh, it's just perspiration everywhere.
I'll never forget. I went in. The DJ played Murder, She Wrote. Girl just jumped on me. And I was like, oh, you just got to go with it.
That's it. You just got to hold your balance.
That was it. I was like, oh, help me. Help. I was grabbing walls. Yep. Like, I was like, my God. And in my brain, in my young brain, I was like, she's coming home with me. No, she wasn't.
No.
She wasn't going anywhere with me.
Not at all.
She was just getting the rocks off on the dance floor.
Yeah, people don't even drink really at like Jamaican club. Like you just go, reggae music going, they going to dance.
Yeah, they're going to dance. So this
Shout out to all the big booty women with the white stick deodorant.
Yeah,
fam, that's how you know you in the Jamaican.
Oh yeah,
club.
you get that little line.
Because the clear deodorant don't even work those nights, baby. They do the white stick deodorant.
You need that antiperspirant.
All of it.
So like this DJ played Murder, She Wrote, and then he played Freaks.
Oh
Lord Jesus.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. If you don't know Freaks, you're probably You got to be a certain age. You got to be a certain height to ride this ride.
Oh my God. Follow that with Ting-a-ling.
Dude, cats out there doing the pepper seed. I was like, listen, it is. And that's when I came back to Vegas and I was like, y'all don't know how to party.
No.
I was like, y'all party to like West Coast music, do some crip walking, go to a go-go club and a reggae club. There was a club that had like each floor was a reggae, go-go, and you go through that bitch. And it was like, and by the end of the night, you're dehydrated. You know, sweat through all your clothes.
Crawling out the front door of the club.
Oh, my God. But yeah.
My God.
Logan knows. Like, me and Logan, we used to go party. I think I probably told the story before. Me and Logan, we were hyped. We were going out. My boy Lawrence had an apartment. Went to Lawrence's apartment. Lawrence like, I'm going to cook for y'all. I was like, all right, because we're about to drink. And he cooked, I would never forget, he cooked some like broccoli pasta. Me and Logan were like,
is he black?
Yeah, he was black.
Black people love putting broccoli in their pasta.
Broccoli in anything.
Yeah, like broccoli fettuccine Alfredo is like now a black dish. Like,
so while he's cooking, me and Logan decided to play some tonk. And if you know tonk, we were playing this just one-on-one tonk. Well, let's play for shots. And we got a bottle of Bacardi. I'll never drink Bacardi again because
of the Bacardi Limon era of hip hop.
And all we had were glasses. We didn't have shot glasses. So as you're drunk, you're just pouring bigger shots.
Freehanding it.
And then, you punk, drink up. And by the end of the night, like in an hour, without eating, we drank this whole bottle of Bacardi. Logan doesn't remember anything else for the rest of the night.
Mind you, you're like 110 pounds. Right?
At that time, I was very lightweight.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and Lawrence like, let's go to the club. We're like, yeah, let's go to the club. And I'm blacking out. I know it's bad news. We get to the club. The car door opens. I just leaned out the car and was like, y'all have fun. I went to sleep.
Yo.
End of the night. All I remember is that Logan was getting kicked out of the club because he kept picking girls up, not like dating. He was literally picking girls up.
Physically.
Yeah. He's like just picking girls up to dance with him. And they were like, you can't do that, sir. and he got kicked out. And then we all went to, and Lawrence had no furniture in his apartment, so we just slept on the floor. And I wasn't hungover the next day, which was crazy. I woke up, I was like,
To be young.
and I was like, where am I? What happened? And Lawrence was like, yeah, you just went to sleep. I was like, I didn't go to the club? And he was like, no. And I was like, shit. I missed the club. And they was like, it was the reggae floor, the go-go. You missed it all. I was like, damn. I just slept in the car.
Fam, I've had those nights. Like, I've gotten so drunk in Arizona. My first time going to Arizona, I went and visited my cousin, went with my best friend Ray, my other friend at the time. And for some reason, like, we drove out, got there at like noon. And then there's like a street by ASU. I forgot the name of it offhand. But like, it's the college part. And we're like 22, 23. We're like, all right, we're going to go drink there. Might be called Mill Ave. So we went to go drink there, got day drunk. And half of the bars there are like tequila bars. And it's stupid cheap in Arizona. So like Scottsdale was mad cheap. Even though we didn't have no money, we had enough to get pretty damn drunk. Then went back to my cousin's crib. They're like, yo, we're going to take a nap. We're going out later, like old Scottsdale, whatever. It's like, bet. I'm staying up. My cousin drinks Bacardi Limon. Pulls out the Limon bottle. He just pours it on the rocks. So me and him reminiscing, chilling. I haven't seen him since New York. We drinking. Then he had just started drinking. I had been drinking all day. 100 degrees in Arizona. So that shit hits different when it's stupid hot outside. Next thing you know, I'm like, yo, I missed my nap window. Everybody else waking up refreshed. You got Wingstop? I'm good. Eating my Wingstop. Like, oh, the food will help. I get to the club, Scottsdale, they're clubs. I get to the club, which is really just a bar. Get there at like 10 because you bar hop all night to like 2 p.m. or 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So we get to the first spot. My cousin's friend P is there. P's like, oh, Kel, you're in Arizona? They always come out here to Vegas. He's like, oh, you here with us? I got you. Orders a tray of tequila. I was like, fuck it, I'm young. Do whatever I want. I take one shot of Patron. I remember shit else for the rest of the night. Gone. There's pictures of me. My friend Ray memed me before memes were a thing. I passed out in a thing of bushes, rose bushes, outside the club. Somehow I got outside the club. Everybody's still partying inside in the parking lot. And I'm passed out in the bushes. And I was wearing like a vest, like a dressy vest and a button up. But actually, I was dressing back then. A dressy vest and a button up. And my arms are crossed on my chest, like Undertaker. And he memed it, says, I'm sleep though. So every time now I get to be like, yo, don't drink too much. You're going to be sleep. And I am gone. And it's probably 11:30 at night. And then they take me weekends at Bernie style to 3 other clubs. Because Scottsdale has golf carts that'll like get you from club to club. So you don't have to do the walking distance, I guess, if women have shoes on. They just put me in the back, like the bench seat of the golf cart, laid me down. Those 2 went in the front, and they're like taking pictures of me just like out and dragging me from club to club. I don't remember anything. I woke up 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. I'm in the back of what is now the car that we drove there, but we ain't drive all night. So we must have went back to the apartment, got the car. My one friend went through a Jack in the Box drive-thru, and I woke up in the drive-thru. And I just, first words out of my mouth was 2 tacos, ranch. And that was it. I had some Jack in the Box. They were trying to holler at girls behind us in the drive-thru line. I don't remember anything. I know I ate my tacos, woke up the next day, fine. Drove home the next day, like 10 a.m. Took the 5-hour drive. I was like, yo, I'm good.
That's incredible. All right, so we do have to talk about MMA, but I want to put this out there to the listeners and you. Because I want to discuss this next week. So one night my wife texts me and goes, do you know what the Miss Pat show is? I said, I have no idea. And she was like, you should watch it. And I was like, what's it about? She was like, I can't tell you. So it's on BET. It's a show called the Miss Pat Show.
This is where we started wrong.
I watched this show. I need somebody to talk about this with. So listeners, you can you can mention it if you've seen it. You can say if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch it. Then
I'm going to watch this, and we're going to talk on Tuesday.
I'm going to have a conversation because we haven't really talked TV shows or anything in a while. I want to have a conversation about this show. Because this show,
it's a series.
It's a series. It's called The Miss Pat Show. Don't read anything about it.
Just put it on.
Just watch it. And then because I watched it and I was confused.
Okay.
I don't get confused watching TV show. Like I'm watching it. My son is in the bed and is co-sleeper. So my wife is on this side, on my left, but I can't really see her face because my son he's propped up on his co-sleeper. And I'm watching the show and I'm like looking over, and my wife she looks back at me and she keeps shrugging, and I'm like, what? And at a certain point I was like, yo, I sat up and I was like, yo, what am I watching? And I was like, what is this? And she was like, watch another episode. And I watched another episode and I was like, I was confused. I'm still confused.
The Miss Pat Show.
Watch the Miss Pat Show.
Season 1.
There's only one season.
Okay. There may not be another season.
It got picked up for another season.
Okay.
Just watch it because I have questions. I have thoughts. There's so much about this show because I've never seen anything like this.
Miss Pat Show.
And when I say, because some of y'all are going to go, never seen anything like this. It must be like confusing, complex. No, just watch it. Just watch it and
I'm now intrigued. That is the best promo ever for a BET show, by the way.
And I'm
like, Tyler Perry just needs to run that and someone to watch it.
That's what my wife did to me. She was like, just watch it. And I watched it, and I kept looking at her. I was like,
well, I'm binge the Miss Pat Show this weekend
yeah.
around all this combat sports.
There's an episode with, remember Waldo Faldo for Family Matters?
Yeah.
He's in there.
Oh, shit.
I think that's episode 6. Watch that episode.
Well, I will watch all of it. 8 episodes, I'm assuming.
All right, we'll talk
Waldo
about it.
Faldo.
It's under 30 minutes. It's a 22-minute sitcom. Sitcom? Yeah.
Question mark.
Just watch it.
I am intrigued.
I'm so confused. But yeah, let's talk
about
it.
I can't wait. Let's hit the break. The Miss Pat Show. Yep. I guess we're going to have a lot to talk about in the opening segment next week. You guys don't go anywhere. We have tons to talk about, tons of UFC, and a UFC guest. Amanda Ribas is joining us today ahead of her fight with Caitlin Chukagian coming up this weekend. So you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. All right, everyone, we are back. Time to finally talk MMA. So we had a pay-per-view card last week in the UFC. PFL debuted. I had to cover PFL. That kind of went as planned. We saw Pettis finally got a win there. Rory McDonald got a win. And then Kayla Harrison keeps running through people.
Of course.
So that's happened in PFL. But in the UFC-wise, UFC 274 went down in Arizona. Good crowd, good card. We previewed the card last week. Everything on this card kind of lived up to expectations.
No, it didn't.
Except the co-main event.
This card did not
which we will talk.
This card did not live up to.
You didn't like the fight card outside of that?
No, I put it like this. When I mentioned last week that I think, with the exception of adding Rose Namajunas' bonuses, there were 88 fight bonuses on the main card, and then you lost Cowboy.
That hurt.
And then, obviously, Rose and Carla, which we'll talk about, was fucking dreadful. And then,
tell them how you really feel.
Chandler and Ferguson was violence, and Oliveira and
Gaethje
was
violence for as long as they last.
But there wasn't really a competitive fight on the card.
Did you want competitive fight? Like you wanted the 25-minute
I wanted. There was not like a fight of the night. There was like murder, boredom, and then 2 okay fights. The Chaos Williams fight with the first fight was
That was right.
OSP and Shogun. I can't believe they went the distance. And then Shogun was like, I can't believe I lost. And I was like, did you watch the fight? So that card had a lot of hype, and it didn't live up to the hype. It wasn't a bad card. We'll talk about the 2 knockouts. We'll talk about the co-main. I don't know where you want to start, but it was all right.
Well, yeah, I mean, the ESPN portion wasn't bad. Because, I mean, we had Ivanov winning, Roy Val with the sub.
The Roy Val sub on Matt Schnell was the strangest thing because felt like Schnell was in control of that fight.
Yeah.
And there was a spot where Schnell gets up and Roy Val just jumps on his neck. And it's over. And I was like, I don't know if that was a brain fart because I was watching it as I was watching a terrible Canelo undercard. And I looked down, I saw Schnell starting to get up, and I saw Roy Val just and jump on his neck. And I was like, there's no way he's just going to submit him like that. Yep.
Easy. That's all it takes.
That's crazy.
Francisco Trinaldo won.
ageless Francisco.
I was about to say, old people in MMA is just
Yeah.
this is their time. And then, of course, Cerrone got sick, had a stomach bug,
I heard
couldn't
he
compete.
What did he do? Eat some carne asada? Like, what did he do?
I don't know, Cinco de Mayo weekend.
You can't do that. Like, listen, man, you're a professional fighter.
Got off the scales, was hungry.
You can't be at like Taco y Taco or some random food truck the night before your fight.
Tacos El Gordo.
Yeah, but you can't do it because you're about to fight. You don't want to mess up your digestive system. That seems
Yeah.
like what he did.
But I feel like Cowboy's just like, I'm a cowboy.
Well, now he's fighting in Austin, Texas, where he could really be a cowboy since they rebooked him and Lozon for UFC Fight Night June 16th,
18?
18th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good for him. Bad for Joe. Joe Lozon has been almost 3 years since he last fought. He gets all the way up to the day of the fight. He's going up that roller coaster, ready to go on the other side of it, and the roller coaster says, "Come back down.
Yep.
Try this again later. Now go back to training camp." I don't want to do any of that.
At all. Cut weight all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to suck. And then, yeah, Randy Brown versus Chaos Williams. Chaos Williams, the luster is worn off.
Yeah, I mean, I picked him to win, but Randy Brown was just better than him.
Yep.
Cut more angles, whatever.
OSP versus Shogun. Touched on it. OSP wins. The streak is alive.
Yeah, OSP's back.
Yes. So
Got us back.
we're back in the wing column. I feel like we're like 66% on guests this year.
We have to do the record.
Yeah, we're doing pretty damn good. Maybe producer Cole, we got to add these up on to know where we stand with guest and the following fight. And then now we'll start Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson.
It's over, Tony. It's over. It is over.
He looked so good in that first round.
The chin doesn't recover.
It really doesn't.
Justin Gaethje took years off that man's life with that beating. Just took him off. Every punch, he aged like 7 years. He aged in dog years, right? Now he's like 93 in the octagon. And he goes in there and he has a good, nice little sprint. He drops Chandler real quick. The second round comes. I don't think Michael Chandler's ever thrown a front kick in his life.
Like the first one.
Like, I know fighters throw teep kicks. All right, cool. Michael Chandler threw a kick to his face. I've never seen Chandler do this. Not only does he connect, he murders him.
Out cold.
Like, Tony Ferguson's never been knocked out cold before.
Yep.
Gaethje just beat the brakes off of him, but the chin was broken.
Yep.
I always use that
Silver S.
that analogy of chipping at the stone. Well, that's what Gaethje did. All it needed was a nice little hit. That nut just cracked, pop. Ferguson's on the face down. Michael Chandler does like 7 backflips.
Yeah. He had
like,
so much energy.
I was like, this is impressive. Now, I'm going to get back to the Ferguson moment in a second. But Chandler, Vince McMahon would be proud. Michael Chandler cut the most epic promo. And then he said, Hunter and Dana, in case you have a lapse of judgment, pause for effect. There's another fighter out there, Conor McGregor. I'll fight you at 170. I was like, this is like the best promo ever. Michael Chandler has always been a great fighter. Always fun to watch, never in a bad fight. But he realized now it's not all you can do.
Yep.
You've already been beat by the champion. You've got beat up by Justin Gaethje in a hell of a fight. You're the only person that's gone the distance with Gaethje. Yep. But now you got to figure out what to do.
Go get that money.
Call out McGregor. That's the fight. That's it. That's all I want to see. Before I was like, I want to see Masvidal and Conor. Nope. Now I want to see Conor and Chandler at 170. That's the fight I want to see.
And Chandler's not big.
No,
So he's
40, he was a 45 at
Fighter,
one
yeah.
point.
So like,
Even though Conor was 2, but Conor's like, I kind of like being built like a refrigerator.
yeah. I mean, he is.
He is.
Oh, he's huge.
Yeah, it's like, what are you making? 205 now? Like,
He's huge.
but dude, that knockout backflip promo combo, yeah. WWE's like,
Reminded me of Chad Gable.
yeah,
Wait, that I needed was a shoosh.
yeah. It was good. I mean, I thought Chandler was gonna knock Ferguson out. I said it.
Yeah.
He's done.
I didn't see it like this.
Not a front kick, and then he NFT'd him.
Yo, photo of the weekend.
Yo, Frankie Edgar, like the NFT Bored Ape Frankie Edgar photo when Cheeto Vera kicked him in the face. Tony Ferguson's face was like, hold my beer.
Yep.
And
I've used that photo 3 times already on ESPN MMA social.
yo,
And I've just been working it Wednesday and Thursday this week. I've used it 3 times.
props to whoever the photographer is that captures that shot.
Oh,
That
they got
was,
their money's worth.
that was brutal. Now, I don't know if you agree with this, but
super old man face.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson, it's over. It is over.
He looked 90 in that photo.
Yeah, it's done. I know Tony Ferguson's still going to want to fight, but it's over.
If Cowboy wins, he can get Cowboy.
I mean, now
Or
we're
Joe
just,
Lozon.
we're just running through a series of losers leave town matches.
Yeah, like that's where he is.
It turns into the Ric Flair special. Remember leading up to WrestleMania when he wrestled Shawn Michaels? Every match was like, if you lose, you go home.
Yeah.
And he kept winning. And then he finally gets to
Mania.
Shawn Michaels and gets his face kicked in. I think that's where we're at. Ferguson, Lozon. I feel like Jim Miller's going to be in there at some point as well.
Yeah, Jim's kind of rolling along.
He is. But
Is Diego gone?
yeah, Diego's gone.
Oh, okay.
He fought Kevin Lee and Khabib shit.
Oh, he did.
But I think you can make a tournament to go home, the go home tournament.
So only one stays?
Yeah.
The stay home tournament?
They stay and they get a bunch of money, and everybody else, if you lose, you retire. I'm with it.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, I hate telling people when to retire, but I'm sure we can find enough people where you can go, well, if you lose, you're out.
If you fought in Strike Force, it's probably time to go.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately,
WEC?
Clay
Might be
Guida
time
might
to go.
fall on that list, right?
Clay is in there?
If Pettis was still around, he'd be on that list.
I mean, everyone outside of Jose Aldo.
Like, imagine the incentive. Like, $1 million, more than any champion makes if you win this tournament, but if you lose, it's the end of your UFC career. Well, end of your MMA career. Make us all sign a contract.
It's like blood sport.
Yeah, yes, Kumite.
Kumite.
Like, that's what I want. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing because I'll be sending a bunch of fighters to go to hell, right?
Yeah.
But if you do a tournament where everybody that loses has to retire from MMA and the winner gets $1 million, imagine what, dude,
Like that
those
idea.
fights would be like hellacious.
I would also say you can only win by stoppage.
What you can do? Just
KO
run
or
the clock?
submission.
Pride rules?
No, just
Soccer
if,
kicks?
If for any reason after 15 minutes it goes to decision, y'all both go home.
Damn.
That's it.
That's a hell of a caveat.
So the whole time you got to go for the finish.
But I'm with it.
Yeah, let's do it. That's the only thing that counts. If not, y'all both going home. Congrats, whoever you're supposed to fight gets a bye.
Yeah. That being said, Tony Ferguson is just like,
I don't know what fix it. There's no fix for a chin.
no. And it's unfortunate because there was a time where people thought Tony Ferguson was the best lightweight in the world.
Thought he was the guy to beat Khabib.
Yeah, and it's like when it comes down, it's like Roy Jones, man. You're done. You're donezo. And what do I say? You gotta adjust. You can't fight the same way.
Yep.
Now Tony Ferguson, you can't even take a punch. You got kicked in the face.
Are you jiu-jitsu specialist guy now?
Like, what do you do? How do you fix it? Like watching Anthony Pettis in PFL, it seems like he's starting to figure it out.
Yeah.
We can't
I mean,
rely on
his wrestling has gotten a lot better.
But you have to adjust. You have to change your game. Ferguson's gonna have to change his game, or he's just gonna continue getting knocked out every week, however long he wants to fight.
However long Dana allows him to stay and get knocked out. Like, I don't know if you can be on a 5-fight losing streak anymore. Like, because he's somewhat expensive.
Yeah, he's somewhat expensive, and like Oliveira dominated you. Okay, understandable. Gaethje broke you. Okay, understandable.
Cool.
But this knockout, it's not like Chandler's necessarily worse, but it was just the level of violence to the finishes are going up. It was the same thing with Roy. Remember, Roy gets knocked out by Tarver. Remember when Glenn Johnson knocked him out?
Yeah. It got sad.
That's what it was. It wasn't like, oh, it was like, oh.
Yeah, it got real sad. You just feel bad for Roy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, come on, Roy, get up. Tony Ferguson getting kicked in the face like that. Because remember, I was sitting in front of you.
Yep.
And I looked at you, and you and Heidi Fang were sitting next to each other, and I was like, and then somebody was like, yo, Heidi was like, he still hasn't got up. And I was like, wait a second, I rewinded this. So how long ago was this? It was like 10 minutes he had not got up.
He was down.
If I get knocked out like that, it's over.
Oh.
Call my kids and be like, hey, daddy's not going to scare y'all anymore.
Or, nobody's allowed to watch my fights anymore.
Yeah.
Because, like, really going to give a family member a heart attack.
Exactly.
All bad. And then, Tony, we'll see what his future holds. Because now they got to drop his level of competition.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to fight someone ranked like 11.
But even then, you're looking at the lightweight division, which is
It's not an easy 11.
between that and bantamweight, the two murderous divisions in the UFC. Where there's nowhere to go. You can't hide.
Nah.
They don't do tune-up fights.
No.
They do. And that's one thing I always give Dana White and the UFC credit for is like, they ain't gonna give you a soft toe. It's time to go. It's just time to go.
Yeah, because that's a tough fall down the ladder.
Yeah.
If you got to get beat up by number 6, number 8, number 11, number 13, like
they're gonna keep coming for you.
Yep.
Andrei Arlovsky's done a fantastic job of being like, well, I'm still here.
Yep.
They keep giving Arlovsky fights, and he keeps winning.
Because 10 through whatever can't beat him.
Garbage.
But above 10, now it gets a little dicey.
Now you're going to get him killed. Like, at a certain point, Dana's going to say, all right, we're going to put you out of pasture. Him and Hunter give him a fight against, like, Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
And Andrei Arlovsky be like, what the fuck did I do to you?
Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, get him killed. But other than that, like, Tony's in that spot. It's the wrong division to face, to try to find, like, a soft touch. It doesn't exist.
Going to be rough. And then co-main event, Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza.
Holy shit.
The only thing worse than the action in the octagon, because I went back and watched it, it's tough watch. The only thing that got me through was my wife made these delicious mini cheesecakes. I had like 3 of them during this fight. The only thing enjoyable. Only thing that was worse for me was Rose's press conference afterwards, where she just like, I don't have to be exciting every fight. Like, why can't I be strategic? You can't, because you're going to lose.
Dude.
You weren't strategic and winning. You were strategically boring and losing. That's why you can't be strategic and why you have to go out there, be aggressive, and take chances and get hit. Yes, Rose, you got to get hit. That's your game.
Okay. My first question, and I think you're going to answer this the way I expect you to. Who was at fault for this boring-ass fight? Rose or Carla? Or both?
Both.
No. Rose.
It was paralysis by analysis.
This is Rose's fault. 100% Rose. Here's why. Carla Esparza is the same fighter she was when she beat Rose 6 years ago.
Fair.
Same exact fighter.
Wrestling.
You know exactly what she's going to do. She's never been a great striker. And I said it on the last show in the preview. I was like, if she falls in love with the striking, she's going to get knocked out.
Yep.
She is obviously aware that Rose is a much better striker now. So the whole fight, she was like, trying to find my entry point. Rose, you lost to Carla. You're the more evolved fighter. And for a lot of us, you're the better fighter. When this fight was booked, we were like, oh, Rose is just going to get her win back.
Easy.
But not only did Rose not do shit, she didn't take a chance. And I was asked this question on Unlocking the Cage, or one of the shows I did on Sirius this week, about, is this the worst title fight of all time? I said no. Here's why.
Something worse?
Wonder Boy and Tyron Woodley was fucking bad.
It was, but at least they knocked each other into oblivion
No.
in the fight beforehand.
In the fight beforehand.
And then they got
the
scared
rematch, it was just, they just froze. I think Arlovsky and
I believe
Tim
there was a
Sylvia.
knockdown still in that one, though.
I can't remember.
5th round.
No, that was the first fight. That's how it ended up as a draw.
I thought Woodley knocked him down again.
Somebody may correct us. Arlovsky, Tim Sylvia was absolutely trash.
Yeah.
Anderson Silva versus Talis Leites was really bad.
That was really bad.
Here's the difference between those fights and this one. Wonder Boy and Woodley is one of the worst fights. Why? Because we thought somebody was getting knocked out.
Yeah.
It was 50-50 at the time. We were like, Wonder Boy.
Expectations were very high.
Yeah, Wonder Boy, they're both violent guys. The expectations are high, the fight sucks. Tim Sylvia, Andrei Arlovsky, go back and watch that fight. It's fucking terrible. But Arlovsky was the pit bull at the time. You thought he'd knock somebody out. There was no chance in hell Carla Esparza was knocking Rose out. No. It wasn't like Rose was dealing with a very physical and violent threat. All Rose was concerned about was being put on her back. A situation that she's evolved and now she can get up. So why are you keeping your distance? There were 4 strikes landed in the first round total. Carla did what Carla does.
That's it.
Tiger went tiger. Except it wasn't a tiger. It was like a puppy. What are you doing, Rose?
You got to be aggressive.
You got to do something.
You'd rather just be taken down on the ground and figure it out.
Trevor Whitman's in Rose's corner. I don't know how much of the blame I put on Trevor Whitman, but by the time you get to the 3rd round of not doing shit, somebody's got to take that lighter and light it under your ass and be like, are you going to fight or what?
Yep.
Here's my analysis of Rose Namajunas, and I think she's on the MMA Hour right now with Ariel Helwani as we're recording this. Somebody's saying that they're addressing grooming. Her and Pat Barry on the show right now, which is scary.
That's odd.
So, but here's my thing with Rose. Rose has beat Weili Zhang twice, Joanna Jędrzejczyk twice, Jessica Andrade. Murderers, Rose has beat them. You want to know why Rose beat them? She was scared. There was a threat. There was a vital threat in front of her, and it made her address the threat. Carla was no threat. And because there was no threat, Rose just sat there and waited for something to happen that was never going to happen. And then in the post-fight, she says, you don't score defense? No, Rose. It's called fighting. This isn't the NFL where defense wins championships.
It's like Mayweather won fights.
And even when Mayweather had defense, he made you pay for your mistakes. Rose did nothing in this fight. She gave that belt to Carla Esparza. And now the rest of that division,
licking their lips.
Everybody's like,
it's time.
Because Carla's the same fighter.
That's it.
Joanna fights Carla tomorrow. She beats her the same way she did when she beat the brakes off her to get that title.
You know what this shows me above everything else? And we'll never know because of injury. Tatiana Suarez would have ran through this division.
I don't know if she would have ran through it, but she probably would have been champion.
She's so unique. And that ground game and wrestling is so developed. When you see someone like Carla Esparza, who doesn't have the finishing tools in her ground game, just the threat of wrestling, because the entire top 5 are strikers. No one's equipped to handle Suarez at all. She gets any one of them on the ground, it's over. Andrade's side.
Andrade is the problem. She's always the problem, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, because she's like strong enough, maybe. Everyone else, it is a problem because they have no clue how to handle it.
Listen, man, Carla Esparza is now your UFC strawweight champion. Again, 2 times. So the longest gap between the first title reign and the second title reign. And I feel bad for Carla because this is not her fault. She won. She didn't necessarily get a gift, but Rose didn't do anything to prevent her from winning that fight.
She doesn't feel like a champion today, though.
No, she feels like Jack Swagger. I'm going to just run down names of champions that nobody gave a shit about. Jack Swagger, Layman Brewster, WWE champions. There's a bunch of them. And not even Jinder Mahal. At least Jinder Mahal was like, okay, you got a new entrance. It's kind of cool. But I said Layman Brewster because I'll never forget when Layman Brewster knocked out Klitschko, and everybody's like, who the fuck is that? Like, there's always somebody that gets a title, and you're like, what are they doing with that?
It's her second title.
Yeah, it's her second title reign as a strawweight champion. Boy, everybody in that division, except for the ones that were lost to her. Mackenzie Dern. There's Amanda Ribas, who's going to be on the show.
Still at 115?
I think she could get to 115 if she really. I think if we're going to talk to Amanda Ribas, I'm going to have to ask her. Like, you float between divisions. I know you're looking at this like, if I beat Caitlin Chukagian, maybe I'll just go down and ask for a title shot because everybody else is busy. Everybody else is fighting each other. Weili Zhang and Joanna's fighting again, right? So it's like, all right, let me sneak in there and get. That fight sucked.
It wasn't good, man. It wasn't good.
It's all Rose's fault. People blame Carla. I don't blame Carla at all.
It's so bad, Rose doesn't get a rematch.
No. Who wants to see that again?
Yeah, like, it's so bad that you have beaten the best of the best in your division, and they're not even going to give you an immediate rematch. Any other division.
Because we've seen it twice.
They'd be like, here. No, they're like, yo, you stunk it up. No one wants to watch
Yo,
that.
it sucked the second time. The first time Carla blanketed her. Rose is in an 0-2 hole. Why would I do an immediate trilogy?
Yeah.
You've lost twice. You're bad.
So now, again, the next person is like, oh, let's get it.
Weili Zhang, the winner of Weili Zhang, Joanna, like they should change that fight to a 5-round fight.
Immediate title shot after.
Yep, immediately.
Time to get a belt back.
Ugh. Yep.
So damn, that fight was bad. It was bad. Main event, Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje.
Called it.
Man, I thought Justin was going to win.
Told he was going to get
the fight
choked out.
starts. I thought Justin was going to win. Justin drops him twice. Oliveira's chin is underrated.
His resolve is underrated.
Because you can't. To beat him now, right now, you got to knock him spark out.
Yes.
Because if you knock him down, everyone's scared to death to go into the guard to finish him.
Yep.
So it's problematic. You got to let him back up. You knock him down again, you got to let him back up. And it showed when he got back up, he just got to knock you down once because he is not scared to get into your guard. And it's over. And that's what it was. If Gaethje would have jumped into the guard and tried finishing him, might have had a better chance. But he wasn't going to try that shit. And Oliveira has a very unique set of skills. And those submissions, 21 submissions now?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's only one guy I want to see him fight. he has to fight Islam.
Yes, that's the fight to make.
Makhachev.
That's absolutely the fight.
Makhachev says, yo, I do not worry about your jiu-jitsu at all. And I think he's true. Like, I think he's honest to God, like, really that confident.
I got another name for you. I'm going to mention it in a second. I want to talk about the fight real quick. One, I told you, rear naked choke. I told you that was going to happen.
Yeah.
All Charles had to do was find an opening, and there's nothing Justin Gaethje could do. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Charles Oliveira has not lost since 2015, I believe. Yes. 18, 15?
It's been deep.
He only has one decision, and that was against Tony Ferguson, and he wore Tony Ferguson out. Everybody else he's finished. Let's first talk about the unique set of skills.
Got knocked out by Paul Felder in 2017.
Yeah, and I talked to Paul Felder on Unlocking the Cage on SiriusXM. I was like, "You're the last person that beat him." Paul's like, "I'm retired. I'm good." That's a different monster in there now.
2017.
Charles Oliveira.
He got submitted by Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, Anthony Pettis. You look at Anthony Pettis' record; he's beat some people.
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira has a very unique set of skills because none of them are defensive. It's all offense.
Yeah.
It's he knocked out Michael Chandler. He submitted Justin Gaethje. He gets hit. It's not like he's not in trouble in every fight he's in.
Every single one now.
He gets in trouble, but it's like, well, he's not dead. And he just gets stronger. Not even stronger. Like Gaethje used to get stronger. Like Michael Johnson hit him.
It wakes him up a little.
Yeah, he's like, oh, all right, let's fight.
Yeah.
Oliveira gets hit, goes down, and was like, I got you where I want you. And it's like, what the fuck do you mean? And then it's like, now he gets up. You watch the Gaethje fight. Gaethje knocks him down. What does Oliveira do? He gets up, wraps him in a tie, and starts throwing knees. And Gaethje's like, wait, like, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting me to pick apart.
Yep.
And what did Gaethje do? He went back to the old Gaethje because he had to just throw punches because he kept coming.
Yep.
I was like, I can't believe this fool's coming at me the way he is.
And left himself open.
Yeah, and then
get caught.
The other thing is Charles Oliveira, yes, he missed weight. I don't care. He's the UFC lightweight champion. I don't give a shit.
A lot of people say, like, the scale was off.
Now, I talked to Mark Radner. Charles missed weight. That's it. It sucks, but he missed weight.
Yeah.
But I don't care. He's the champ. Look, the champ doesn't even come to the cage with the belt, right? But when the next fight that Charles Oliveira has, he's the champ. The only thing this affects is his check. That's the only thing that matters. And I hope he's getting pay-per-view points.
Dana said he gave him.
I'm talking about his next fight.
Oh, going forward.
Yeah, because if he's not getting a champion's salary, I hope he's getting pay-per-view points because he's the draw going into whatever fights next. But
dependent.
It ain't gonna be Conor.
Dependent. If Conor decides he wants to cut down, Conor gets that fight.
It won't be Conor.
I don't think so. I don't think Conor wants to cut down.
No, he don't want to cut down.
And you don't want to face a guy.
It's Makhachev. It's Makhachev or this other person. But hang on.
It's not Makhachev because they're going to make him fight
Dariush. But Charles might wait. He might wait. He's had a lot of fights. But I don't know how conducive to his longevity that Charles Oliveira can keep doing this. Right now, he's effectively like almost cleaned out the entire division.
Yep.
But the fact that he gets hurt every fight, because now he's 31. And I said this on the last show about Canelo. Once you pass 31, shit starts to change. I don't know if he can still take those punches by whoever's coming up when he turns 32, 33. He's going to have to shore up his defense. He can't keep getting hit like this. But as long as it works, can't nobody stop him. Now, Daniel Cormier had Charles Oliveira before this fight as the number 3 lightweight of all time.
Okay.
I hate doing it because he's in the middle of the run and I can't quantify it until he's done.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, he's probably the best. He's the best. He's hands down the best. And nobody saw this coming. There has never been, and you tell me if you can find one, never been a fighter who has evolved in this way and been this dominant after being 500 for half his career. Nobody.
Damn. I mean, Robbie Lawler hit a sprint.
It was close.
That was pretty damn good, but it wasn't. And again, we saw the fall of that sprint.
Yeah.
So we don't know the fall.
But it was short.
Oliveira.
It was the Hendricks fight.
Yeah, it was quick, fast.
You know, and then he ran into Tyron Woodley and got killed. But Charles Oliveira was a 500 fighter on his way out of the UFC 2 years before he was talking about retiring.
Yeah.
Goes to shoot box, retools his game, finally goes to lightweight after playing around at featherweight, and hasn't lost, only had one decision, and
finishing everyone.
Holds the UFC record, finishes, submission, performance of the night bonuses.
I mean, the man started at like 20.
But we usually guys don't find it. They find a second win, they still go 1 and 2, 3 and 4. This fucker ain't lost.
No.
He's the champ. I've never seen anything like
Got
this.
some hands.
He is Paul. No, who said this? Was it Paul Felder? Or was it RJ Clifford? So the Charles Oliveira is the Fedor of the lightweight division. Fedor used to be in every fight and get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just beat the shit out you. At some point, it was like Fedor didn't look imposing. He would get hurt. He was vulnerable, but he'd fuck you up. Charles Oliveira, it looks the same. You look at Charles Oliveira, just
so who is he behind in the division?
Who?
Charles Oliveira, all time. You said that he's number one?
Number one in all time. It depends. Khabib is the number one lightweight of all time. It's Khabib, and then it's like this one. It's Frank Yeager.
Okay.
Then there's BJ Penn. You could put Charles in there somewhere. You put him ahead of BJ now.
Yeah, I think he's.
Frank Yeager, you might because Frank Yeager has wars with Gray Maynard. Frank Yeager had no business at lightweight. He was a featherweight.
Yeah.
Fighting at lightweight and became the champion. But it's Charles Oliveira. It's Khabib is like here, but Charles Oliveira is like right there now. And it's like Fedor. Like he gets hurt, he recovers, he fixes whatever's wrong, and then he finishes you.
Habib would have beat him.
But as every
say
fight,
that convincing.
Every fight that passes, the first time when Charles Oliveira first won the title, I was like Khabib in 1. Second fight, I was like Khabib in 2. The fight's getting longer now.
No, it is.
And if in a perfect world, nothing's ever perfect, if Charles Oliveira was to finish Islam Makhachev,
then people would be like, "Oh, maybe he would."
And Khabib should be. That's his guy.
Yeah.
Yo, if I'm Dana, it's like, how many millions do you want to come back to fight Charles Oliveira? The story is there.
You seen Habib lately?
Oh, he ain't fighting. He's done. No, he's done.
Habib 200 right now.
But Habib versus
loving life.
But if Charles Oliveira were to beat Islam Makhachev and dominate him and finish him, we got to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because Makhachev comes from the same school of thought that Khabib comes from.
Yep.
And you don't want to deal with that jiu-jitsu.
Then you got to give the guy Conor McGregor. Because, again, you need to put somebody over on McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, and then at that point, only the less for Charles is like, yo, give me McGregor. Like, now it's payday.
Yep. Okay. Here's my name. I know you said Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski. If Volk beats Max Holloway again at International Fight Week, this is stupid. Did you know that Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway have fought? This is the third time and they've never main evented?
Really?
They've been the co-main every single time.
Damn.
If Volk beats Holloway, he has cleaned out the featherweight division.
Yeah.
There's nobody left. He's already talked about going to lightweight. We've seen how dominant he is. People say he's undersized, but
is there not a Habib disciple down there?
Yeah, but who cares? Like, he's still working his way up. Like, you look at that division, like, he's cleaned out the division. He's beat everybody. Volk played rugby at over 200 pounds. So making 155 is not a problem.
No.
Volk was in the submission of all submissions against Brian Ortega and got out of that shit.
That was crazy.
Give me Volk versus Oliveira champion versus champion fight. I know people want Makhachev, but if something happens and Makhachev loses to Beneil Dariush or it's really competitive, I would 100%. If Volk, let's say Volk.
Oh, yeah, there's no one else to fight.
Yeah,
in featherweight.
Let's say Volk knocks out Max Holloway. Yeah. That is absolutely the fight to make. Volk versus Oliveira? The poster with the belts?
I'm not mad at that.
Because Oliveira's not going to 45, but Volk could go to 55.
Yeah.
That's the fight. I know everybody wants to see Makhachev, but Makhachev's going to be there. He ain't going nowhere. Volk is the champ. He wants to do big things. Champ versus champ, the fight sells itself.
Fuck, I would love to see Aldo come back up and challenge him.
Volk ain't losing to nobody at 45.
I just like the aesthetic of like Jose Aldo coming back. Like that's just a good another name. I'm just trying to figure out who else there could be.
There's nobody.
Like it's literally move up.
There's no like this is one of the most underrated runs that nobody's really talking about. Volkanovski, because of the Holloway situation, people are like, well, he's dominant. But then, the way he beat Brian Ortega, the way he beat a zombie, obviously, he just murdered him.
Yep.
But if he were to stop Max Holloway, there ain't nothing for that man to do at 45.
At all.
And the crazy thing is, Volkanovski versus Oliveira, it's a big fight. It's not like a Conor fight.
No.
But it's a fighter's fight.
Yeah.
Like Poirier and Gaethje, who I think they need to run it back.
And Oliveira, again, he's not going to turn down fights, right? Like he'll fight whoever you want him to fight. Crazy. But it's one of those things where it's like, my man, you cleared it out. Go get your money first. Like Nate Diaz was floated around
Nate Diaz needs
as a positive. Go get your money.
Yeah, it's just
Because you'll guarantee a headline, and it'll put you in another level of casual fandom.
yeah. Nate's too big for lightweight though.
Yeah, I mean, he's comfortable in one side. He can make it, though.
Hamzat was guys that should beat up Nate and become a superstar.
He should. I mean, anyone should beat up Nate and become a superstar. Like, at this point, right? Like, you, I don't know. Like, hey, you're in that spot where, yeah, get your money. But I like the Volk fight.
I love that fight.
I'm not mad at that.
Like, man, I was looking at Volk fights and I was like, remember when he just like pulverized Chad Mendez and people were like, well, he's coming.
Yep.
And they made him work the hard way. It wasn't like the Conor situation. It was like hop, skip at the jump, title shot. They made Volk fight everybody to get to Holloway. And we all picks against Volkanovski. He was like, Max Holloway's the greatest featherweight of all time. Remember that conversation? Volk was like, cool.
I'm still not positive he isn't.
Yeah.
I think he won that second fight.
But the only person that's gave Max hell
It's Volk. Yeah,
It's
I
Volk.
mean, they're like 1A, 1B.
Yeah, it's like, it's nuts. And then you just watch with Volk. The Brian Ortega fight is the one fight that I was just like, oh my God. That
I mean,
guillotine
it
was the
was
deepest
deep.
thing I've ever seen. And Volk is just like,
Yeah. Flexed on it.
yeah, it was like, all right,
Ah.
you tired yet, bitch? And he got out of that. Like, because
Beat
of
the
that.
shit out of Ortega, too.
And then, yeah, then he made his face like in the mincemeat.
Oh, my God.
Because of that is the reason why I don't see Oliveira and Volk. Because, like, if Oliveira does that to you, it's different.
You ain't getting out.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think.
I can't put nothing past him, man.
I don't know.
I want Volk. Makachev, you can wait. Go ahead and fight Beneil Dariush. Just go ahead. Let that fight happen. And keep an eye on Volk versus Holloway. That UFC 276 card is weird. It's a great card. Adesanya is headlining, but nobody thinks he's losing to Jared Cannonier.
No.
Volkanovski and Max Holloway should headline that card, but
Yeah.
I get it.
The weight classes. It's just
Adesanya is the bigger star,
yeah.
which is weird.
The heavier belt always headlines.
It's crazy. It's two black guys headlining that card.
But one, no one cares about.
No, Cannonier's still fighting on that same contract.
But we've seen a lot of weird shit in MMA now.
You're
so
right.
I'm just like,
Yo, if Cannonier becomes champion,
between boxing and the upsets and MMA and the upsets since like last year,
yeah,
throw everything out the window. It should just be putting dough on underdogs
that's true.
the entire time.
That's true.
Like, who thought Bivol was going to beat Canelo?
Anybody who said
Cambosis
lied.
were going to
Yeah.
beat
Lots of
Teofimo.
lies, lots of liars.
Like, no one's thinking these people are falling off. Amanda Nunez losing. Rose losing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
People aren't thinking about this shit. Glover Teixeira is a champion.
I picked that one though.
That's ridiculous. But like this past 2 years, I don't even know anymore.
No, you know nothing.
I know nothing.
Aljamain Sterling is your bantamweight champion, and everybody was like,
Legit.
Petr Yan was like the man, and Aljo won.
Jan was sending him to the phantom realm in the first fight. Second fight couldn't do anything
Yeah, it's like, wow.
till the fourth round. Like, I don't know.
The only for
all
sure
this
thing
shit
is like
upside
Kamaru
down.
Usman right now. Like that's the only for sure thing.
For now,
He's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world.
he has a wolf chasing him.
Yes, I know.
So that's not very easy either.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if you'll agree with this, but I think fighter pay bullshit aside, the Gina Carano ad, which I still haven't watched for like that Prairie MAGA shit with her and Cowboy. I was like, ew, they're promoting this?
Weird.
All this shit aside, I think the UFC is in a really good spot right now of unpredictability,
Yeah.
good fights, not great, but I think that the Chandler situation helps. Nothing like Gaethje loses to Oliveira, and I don't think anybody cares. If you book Gaethje in a lightweight fight against Dustin Poirier, you book Gaethje with Conor McGregor, it's still gonna sell. Gaethje's still fun as hell to watch. Charles Oliveira is just the best lightweight in the world right now. Yeah, I like where the UFC is at. Now we just
But-
need John Jones to come back
Yes, they do.
and see what happens.
But UFC is always better with megastars.
No, it is.
They don't have a megastar.
They don't. But for me, as if you're a hardcore MMA fan that kind of watches every single show,
Oh, it's great.
it's like it's very competitive.
Yeah.
For casuals, it's like I don't care
For
about
what?
any of these guys.
Yeah, they need a megastar. You at least need one,
Yeah.
and no one's a megastar.
No, there's no Ronda. There's no Connor.
No.
There's
There's
nothing close.
no. There's no Liddell.
No.
who is like transcending things. Like there's no Brock.
Jesus, I almost forgot Brock was in the UFC.
Yeah, like there's no one guy where you're like, $1.5 million pay-per-views. Let's go, like transcending stuff, taking over the sports world for a week.
And Ngannou's just kind of like on the shelf.
They don't even like him.
No, I ain't putting no belt around you.
Yeah, they don't even like him.
Go fight Tyson Fury, you little bitch.
So, like, what are we talking? No, there's no megastar face of the company. Like, you can put Sean O'Malley. Like, if you're not a star yet, even in O'Malley's case, you're not going to be a mega star necessarily.
O'Malley has a chance. I will say that. O'Malley, like
He should have been something more already.
I mean, have you looked at his social media following and engagement and the money he makes on, like,
His Twitch is insane.
yeah, like O'Malley has, if he were just to start flatlining continuing to knock people out, he's got a chance. He won't. Conor McGregor big is just different because not only was Conor McGregor huge, he had a
Perfect
whole
storm.
fucking country behind him.
Yeah.
So when he fought in Ireland,
You can get there. He's not big enough to get there. But say, like, someone was at, like, 185, and they were like Sean O'Malley. Technically, you can bounce for a second, fight Jake Paul, and become a mega star.
Yeah. You could,
But, I mean, there's, like, a looming specter of someone who could make you a megastar. Hence, what's-his-face is chasing the Canelo fight. Like, the shit's going out of style.
Kamaru needs to stop.
Tomorrow's wild.
And the worst part is, I haven't even checked. Has Ali said anything about Canelo since? On Twitter?
No. Kamaru has.
What did he say?
Kamaru was like, payday, question mark, exclamation point, on the picture of Canelo getting rocked by Bivol after he lost.
Yo, what? I know this is not our boxing show. But what is wrong with people? They just saw Canelo lose to Bivol. Now everybody thinks he can beat Canelo?
Yeah, everybody does.
Does
Jake
he have
Paul,
to remind
3 years,
y'all?
sir.
Jake Paul's, he's nuts.
3 years.
Eddie Hearn. I asked Eddie Hearn. I think the interview's up somewhere. I said, Eddie, what happens first? Jake Paul becomes a world champion or Canelo beats Usyk at heavyweight? And Eddie like looked at me and he was like, they're both kind of nutty, right? Like he was like, but at least Canelo has the skills that you can say, all right, maybe it's plausible, obviously before the Bivol fight, which now clearly heavyweight's way too big.
Yeah.
But he's like, Jake really thinks, he's like, cameras off. Jake's like, oh yeah, I believe in myself. Keep doubting me. Jake Paul's a maniac.
Man's 195 pounds. If anything, he has size on it, but there's not enough
Canelo
skill.
beats the shit out of Jake.
Yeah, there's not enough skill.
Like, relax, Jake. I get it. Believe in yourself. But at a certain point, Conor thought he could beat Floyd. We saw that shit. He got dog walked in
I
that
still
fight.
say Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is the best fight for him.
Of course it is.
You can knock out,
The problem is
A former
Anderson
real fighter.
Silva already did that.
but that show's low key. No one watched that.
I mean, but we know about it. And Anderson
Some
Silva's
people
fighting
know
on
about that.
Anderson Silva's fighting on a helipad this week.
Yeah, but some people know about that. Not everybody
We'll
knows
see.
about that. Let's give our predictions real quick before we get out of here then for this weekend's card. If I can pull it back up after looking at these UFC rankings. I have lost the card. But while I pull that up, we have a fight every week until the pay-per-view. UFC is on a roll. No, they take Memorial Day off.
Whoop-de-doo. Which is fine because that's double or nothing week for us.
It is. Yes, no MMA show.
Yeah.
Nothing but wrestling.
It's straight up wrestling.
One boxing show talking about Tank.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, that works out perfectly. Thank you, UFC. So, this weekend's card, headlined by Jan Blachowicz, Alexander Rakic. But let's go with predictions just up from the bottom through. We have Caitlin Chukagian versus Amanda Ribas. We're on the streak, baby.
Yeah, I got to pick Ribas. Even though it's like, boy, Ribas went from Michelle Watterson, which was like very winnable fight,
Yeah.
to Chukagian, who's like the top contender.
Yeah.
Ugh,
And
that's
very
rough.
awkward and
Yeah,
lengthy
long
and
and-
tough. It's
I'm just
tough
going to pick
puzzle.
Ribas because she's on the show.
Of
Call me
course.
biased. I don't care.
Davy Graham versus Luis Smoka.
Davy Grant. Smoker's,
Smoka's past his prime.
I mean, way past. But
Yeah.
Smoker's not necessarily, it could be a fun fight, but I'm picking Davy.
It's going the distance, I'll tell you that much. Ryan Spann versus Kutalaba.
Ian Kutalaba and Ryan Spann. I'm going to pick Spann because I feel like Kutalaba's never, for a while, people were like, well, Kutalaba could be the next guy at light heavy. Spann got beat by Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Spann's had a hard time, but I think Spann is still evolving, so I'm going to pick Ryan Spann.
And they're not old. Like, Spann is 30.
Yeah.
Kutalaba's 28. But, yeah, Spann's size, he's like a
big dude.
legit 6'4".
Yeah, he's powerful. too.
Yeah, so I'll take Spann to win that. And then main event, Blachowicz, Rakic. Like, Blachowicz, 39. He was just champ.
Yeah, I'm not picking against
No, give me Jan to win again. Like
Should be fun though.
the Glover fight, I understand that was shocking, but the man beat Israel Adesanya not too long ago. Like
Yeah.
refocus and figure it out.
Yeah, I got Jan. Yeah, definitely Jan, and then light heavyweight's still an interesting division.
Yeah. Again, looking for some new blood.
Yep.
And they're finally getting it. So we'll see how that all works out. That is our actually it's not our show for
No,
today.
we got our guest.
We do.
Yep.
This was so long. I figured I thought we were over.
Nope.
How dare I? Amanda Ribas is joining us here in a couple of minutes. So let's hit our break. When we come back, Amanda's going to preview her fight this weekend. We're going to chop it up, talk to her about other divisions, her future plans, what she thinks of the current champions. Plenty to talk about in the UFC with Amanda Ribas. Don't go anywhere. Be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. As promised, we are joined by the UFC's Amanda Ribas today to talk about her upcoming fight against Katlyn Chookagian this weekend here in Vegas. Amanda, thank you for taking time out. I know it's always a tough time, right? You just get to Vegas, you're about to cut weight. So thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to talk with us today.
Thank you to invited me, and it's a hard time to cut weight, but I like to do interview. I like to talk about my fight. I think it's time to relax,
Yeah.
to get the fire, like.
how how do you deal with like the during the week process, right? Like, because you seem so excited to fight, you're ready to go, but it's like, okay, I have 4 more days, and then I have 3 more days. Do you feel like, man, I just want the fight to be here now, or do you enjoy fight week and the build up to the fight?
Like I see, like this. If oh, if I start to say like, ooh, another interview, ooh, another exam, it'll be exhausting, and like will push my energy. So I try to enjoy. Even I don't like, I fake I like. So this is good for me. This works for me. Like, you will do, I don't know, 12 interview to 1 a.m. to 3 p.m. I don't know. Okay, let's go. You like? Yes, I like.
I love it. I love it. Amanda, you're fighting Katlyn Chookagian. You were supposed to fight Michelle Waterson, and that was a big fight. But this fight feels even bigger. How do you feel about fighting Chookagian instead of Waterson?
Yeah, when Michelle said she was hurt, I was a little sad because I was thinking in my mind, like, oh my goodness, I am 7 months without fight, and now everybody in my weight division has a fight. Against who will you fight? Because every girl had a fight. So after that, UFC offer me this huge opportunity because I tell to them if they have fight in 125, I can fight too. And they offer me Caitlin to cage, and oh my goodness, this opportunity I am hug with my arms, with my legs because it's huge, 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 and I am prepared.
Do you think a win this weekend puts you right in line for a title fight? Do you think that'll be your next fight after you win?
I believe that. I think a lot of people don't believe that I'm big enough to fight in 125 or I'm good enough to fight against Kate to Kate, but I am sure I am good enough to do that. And if God bless me, I can win and I can prove I can, yes, I can win for the title. After that, of course, if I win, after that.
So you had to watch UFC this weekend and watch Rose Namajunas lose to Carla Esparza. You're in that division too. Did you look at that fight and say, I might have to go back and forth because I can get 2 titles maybe?
Yes, I was talking with my team because I think this fight almost make me because if I fight really good and win the fight, I will still in 125. But my original weight class is 115. So I will do both. Depends of the results to see if I will do more in 125 or in 115.
what did you think of Rose Namajunas and Carlos Esparza? A lot of people thought it was boring. Did you think it was boring?
Yes, but you know what I think is I think both of fighters was thinking just in strategy. In my mind, I think Rose was waiting Carla to trying to grappling her, so she threw a punch, and Carla was waiting Rose to throw a punch to take her down. So nobody do nothing because the strategy was wait. So I think it happened that.
Going into this fight this weekend, again, 115 is your natural weight class. How do you feel at 125? Do you feel better where you don't have to make the weight cut all the way down there? Do you feel stronger?
Yes, I'm feel stronger, and I still need to cut weight. Yes, I still that. I don't know if I can show you guys, but in my front here, there is Nutella, there is M&Ms, a lot of things to eat after my fight. But I still need to cut weight, but for sure I'm feel stronger, and I think more, uh, for more good vibe, more relax.
Caitlin Chukagian, she fought for a title. She's tall. I think she has a pretty good reach. What do you have to do to win this fight? Because it is a tough fight. There's no denying that. But how do you feel about this fight? Do you see things that you can pick up and win with?
I think I can surprise her because I think everything who fights against her just make her do her game. And when she does her game to make points and go out and make her distance, she does the best game for her. And because I am the fighter, I make some risks. Like, if she thinks I will take her down, I throw a punch. If she thinks I will throw a punch, I take her down. I will try to do that. So this, I think, will be my difference between the other opponents that she fights. She
At
fought.
at 115, again, we've seen the belt change hands multiple times recently. There's been a lot of champions. At 125, there's been one champion. When you look at that, are you interested? Like, does it excite you to kind of be that person and to say, you know what? I like this division because I can beat someone who seems unbeatable right now. And we just saw this happen with Juliana Pena going against Amanda Nunez, right? When no one thought she had a chance. Amanda was unbeatable, and then she wins. Do you want to be that person where you look at that and be like, man, I think I could beat Valentina. I want to get that shot.
Yes, for sure. I believe is nobody just win one day we lost because we are human. So when we make mistakes, we have files, and now I need to wait Valentina against Tyler too. But the first blonde girl I need to thank is Caitlyn. After that I will think Valentina. No, now it's just Caitlyn.
The last fight, when you beat Virna Jandiroba, you cut the interview short because you said you needed some chocolate. What is your go-to food after this fight? Where are you going to eat?
My boyfriend, he's here, and after the fight, he said there is some sandwich really traditional here. Is steak and shake? No, qual que é o nome? In and Out.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never try it. It's good.
Yeah. Nah,
Nossa!
he's good.
People
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, you got to have that. That's
It's
good.
really good. Like
Yes.
that.
Yeah. And get a chocolate milkshake. Yeah, it'll be great.
I will put on my list because I have a list. Yeah, I will put that.
Yeah, nah, perfect. So,
And Carlos Bakery too because I love cannoli.
ooh,
I will eat
cannoli.
after fight too.
I need to go eat with
Yeah.
Amanda after.
yeah,
after
that's
this
what
fight.
I'm saying. Now I'm
Yes,
hungry.
we need to schedule that.
Yes, I'm not cutting weight, so I think I might have a cannoli today. And last question before we let you get out of here is looking again, Caitlin, really tough fight this weekend. But if you had to predict, how are you going to win this fight? Do you think it'll be a chess match like we saw last weekend? Are you going in there trying to finish this fight and you see a place where you can get the stoppage?
Yeah, I see place that I can stop her, but I need to be smart because she's really technical. She's really strong. She's taller than me, so I am trying to be bigger than her. So I think we'll get on the finish
I like it. Thank
on
you
the
so
ground. Yeah.
much for joining us.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck this weekend. Enjoy the in
Thank
and
you.
out.
Yes, get
Yeah.
that in and out.
Get that in and out. It is going to be great. It's going to be well
Thank
worth
you.
it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I say thank
Bye,
you.
man.
Bye bye.
Yes, everyone. That was Amanda Ribas fighting this weekend against Caitlin
She's incredible.
Chukagian.
Love
Oh,
her.
amazing. I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah, I know, she made me hungry.
But, oh, great. Make sure you guys watch that fight. Again, another weekend just packed full of fights. I'm getting my TV set up this weekend, so I'm so happy. It's going to be 5 TV set up. I need all of them to watch all of the combat sports going on this weekend. Plus, I'm going to watch producer Cole Bay's Celtics lose, hopefully, on one of the televisions as well. So, I need all of those this weekend to make sure that I see everything. Amanda was great. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the show today. Tons of MMA talk throughout the entire thing. Recapped the pay-per-view earlier, talked about this weekend's fight card, gave our prediction, and, of course, had Amanda on the show. Make sure you guys follow us on social media at Corner Podcast _ on Twitter, at Corner Club for Life on Instagram. Check out our YouTube. All the videos are up there.
Fight Nick!
Fight Nick. We got to make this happen. Shout out to everyone who supported Fight Nick earlier in the week and who loves the idea. Cut the check. This is what has to happen. We appreciate you all. Thank you to everyone in Blue Wire Studios here at the Wynn Resort in Las Vegas. Shout out to everyone in the booth. Brian, producer Cole, baby. Thank you for everything you guys do. In the meantime, until next week, remember Tuesday and Thursdays, we're out.